You should fly with me. Come on, a father-son trip. It'll be fun.
Yeah, right.
You know, most people don't have the luxury of just picking up and leaving it all behind, Daniel.
We agreed that if I let you take me to the airport, you wouldn't lecture me about how I'm ruining my life.
I lied. Hello.
Are you the father of Daniel Avery?
Hi everybody, I'm here with acclaimed Emmy-winning actor Martin Sheen and his accomplished actor-director son, Emilio Estevez, who have joined forces to make a compelling new film called The Way. First of all, I have to tell you, I love this film. I really thought it was fantastic.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Now, so many people, millions of people have traveled the Camino De Santiago for many, many reasons. What was it that was so compelling about this journey that compelled you to make this film?
Well, I grew up, you know, in a Spanish family. My father was a Gallego from Galicia. He grew up about 80 kilometers from Santiago. So I had a knowledge of it, and I had a romantic image of someday doing it, which I got it as close as I was ever going to get, I guess, in 2003, with Emilio's son, Taylor, who was working for me as my assistant on the West Wing. I had 6 weeks between season 03 and season 04. And we went to Europe, and I frittered away the first 4 weeks. We got to Madrid, and I had 2 weeks to figure out how to do 800 kilometers. It was unbelievable.
No backpack, no walking stick, woefully unprepared, right?
Terribly. So we rented a car, Taylor and I and Matt Clark, the fellow that played the rabbi/priest in the piece, and the three of us drove the Camino.
He was walking the road to Santiago de Compostela, 800 kilometers on the northwestern coast of Spain. This is everything he had when we found him. People have walked the path for over 1,000 years. The way is a very personal journey, Mr. Avery.
Daniel was my only child. We're gonna walk the Camino de Santiago, both of us.
Well, Emilio, you specifically wrote this role for your father. Right. What was it like, the two of you working together in that father-son dynamic, not only on the screen, but behind the scenes?
Well, you know, he said to me first, he said, you write the script for me, and we're going to go to Spain. And you know, what's interesting is that my mother has always told me, write what you know, make it personal. The first couple of films I wrote, she was like, where's this coming from? So she says, get personal, write the things that are close to you, that are meaningful.
So what is it, on pilgrimage to change your life?
Something like that. That box with the ashes. My son.
That's brilliant. I mean, tragic, of course, but brilliant.
As Martin and I were talking about what this movie would be, we came to the conclusion that it really is a father-son story. That it really is about the loss of the son. And through that, the father becomes whole and awake.
Tom, this is the way.
Hi, I'm Joost. There's no mystery why I'm doing this trick. Oh, look at cheesemakers. Hola. Hey, Tom, wait. Yeah, you should try some.
No, thanks.
Tom! Tom, it's me!
The Camino, there is an end. You know exactly where you're going, story-wise at least, and certainly geographically you know where you're going. So for he and I working together on this, it was, okay, you know, we're going to get to this town and then this happens, and we're going to get to this town and you're going to pick this person up along the way, and I had to keep him from he wanted to be sort of an everyman, and he wanted to jump into the crowd and shake everybody's hand and take pictures, and
it was like, pretty demanding on you.
It was, well,
I would imagine.
Yeah, it was, but I had to. He was playing a curmudgeon for the first half of the film, at least, and I didn't want him to play himself, and so that was my biggest challenge.
Right, I'm from Amsterdam.
Dutch, huh?
What are you looking to score?
I love this guy.
It wears off quick, I promise.
You mentioned that your father was born in one of the cities along this route in Spain. And Emilio, you have dedicated this film to your grandfather. What was it about this film that helped you either reaffirm or reconnect with your Spanish heritage?
Well, it is a very, very specific cycle. You know, my father came to, actually he came to the New World in Cuba. He worked there for a couple of years, and then he came in through Miami as a Cubano, and he worked his way up to Dayton, Ohio, where I was born. And my mother had come from Ireland, and they met in citizenship school in Dayton. It was very much a family, you know, what would you call it, pilgrimage that was reflected in the film, really, because his grandfather, my father, had a profound influence on him, although he only knew him as a child. And Now my grandson has had a tremendous influence on the whole family. He has returned to Spain, and so
The
we're
movie
full
celebrates 4 generations.
circle. It is really astonishing.
Hello, I'm Jack from Ireland.
How long have you been out here?
On the Camino or on this particular spot?
You pick.
Well, geez, it's hard to say.
Everybody who takes this pilgrimage rediscovers or discovers something new about themselves. What did you each discover about yourselves or about each other taking this journey?
I learned to trust that each time I put my foot down, it would land on solid ground, and when it didn't, he was there to make sure that I didn't fall. I learned to trust him, I learned to trust myself, and I learned to trust what I was doing.
Emilio?
For me, it was really about trusting the moment and being okay to be open to be whatever happened in the moment. I think when I was a young director and making films, again, that I knew nothing about, you know, I wanted this tight grip on the reins, and as a result, you know, the film suffered, and there was no, you know, nothing gets into a closed fist, right? And so I think that, you know, with this film, I was really open to whatever was happening along the road, and as a result, there were wonderful miracles that happened, and blessings, and so I paid attention to them. And incorporated them into the film.
Oh, no!
Tom, your son. I am so sorry. I had no idea.
My son was almost 40.
Yeah, but he'll always be your baby.
Well, I've been talking with actor Martin Sheen and his director son Emilio Estevez about their new film, The Way, opening on October 7th. Be sure to go out in theaters and catch it. I'm Tim Estiloz for Boston Latino TV.
What was your son like?
Smart, confident, stubborn, pissed me off a lot. Was a lot like you. Hey, that kid took my bag. Hey! Hey! You can keep the pack! Just give me the box! You don't choose a life, Dad. You live one.
What, you can do this on a bike? Why the hell are we walking?